Okay, so I got an AI agent recently and it has been life changing, just game changing for my businesses. So, quick recap, I own multiple companies in different sectors, and I'll be honest, I most of the time felt like I was drowning. Again, I didn't want to say no to anything, I always was taking too many things on. I'm super curious about everything, so every time there's a new strategy, a new tactic, a new way to invest, a new way, new thing to build, I wanted to do it. And so I kept saying yes. I kept piling things on, starting more businesses, taking on more projects, and it was getting a little overwhelming. And it was tough. And it's hard to find good people. I've tried hiring good people. I've tried hiring executives, executive assistants, um, different people, VAs. It doesn't always work. A lot of times I spend time training them. They don't do it right. They cost a lot of money. They're not always available. They take sick days. They take holidays. They need more stuff. They don't understand things. They don't always ask questions. They talk back. They have interpersonal problems. They all these kinds of things. Things that are normal for humans and are totally acceptable, but make it hard as a business owner to grow and to do things. Well, then I created an OpenClaw agent. I had heard about OpenClaw months before. I had been interested in AI and seeing the potentials it could have on business and ways to automate things and ways to take the daily grindy sucky jobs away from people and allow people more autonomy, more agency, the ability to be more creative, to do the things that fill them up more. um, Dan Martell's got this book, Buy Back Your Time, and he talks about finding the things that are like your center of joy, right? The things that fill you up, light you up, and that you're also really good at. And then finding the stuff that doesn't really move the needle a lot and you're not really good at, but maybe still needs to get done, and finding the people that those tasks are for them, that light them up and fill them with joy. What I found is that having an AI agent allowed me to delegate and offload the stuff I didn't like and focus more on the things I did like. So for me, strategizing, architecting, making decisions on things, relationships with people, building those relationships, these are the things I think I'm good at and that I like and I think I can bring value with. But data entry, repetitive tasks, reports, research things, like the gathering of the research, these things I don't particularly enjoy doing. So I've been looking into AI. I was playing around with ChatGPT. I was playing around with Claude. I was playing around with Manus. And the problem was that they, at first, didn't have memory and they hallucinated a lot, meaning that they would tell you things that weren't true or say they could do things that they couldn't actually do. And I remember being frustrated because I was like, wait, I thought AI could do all this stuff. I thought I could just go to ChatGPT or go to Claude and tell it, hey, do this, build this, make this, and it would just happen like magic. But it wasn't really the case. At least that wasn't the case back in, say, October of 2025. Then I think around November, December, memory comes out where now you can have chats and it could actually remember things that you said before and it could learn about your business a little bit. So it's like, okay, there's some progress there. And then late January, early February is when I think OpenClaw first came out. And it was like a revelation. Now, at that point, I wasn't using it. But I heard the stories, right? That it could just do things. I'm like, this is what I want. This was the promise of AI, that you could just tell it things and it could manifest. It could do the things. And of course, at first you hear the horror stories, right? Like some guy, I think, was just thinking out loud, kind of talking like you would to a buddy, being like, oh, I'm really going to lock in. I'm not going to leave my house for the next month. I'm just going to work. I'm just going to really focus. And his agent took that literal, and he had connected it to his Amazon account and to a credit card. And so the agent went and like bought a month's worth of like water and food and things. So he wakes up the next day and all this stuff arrives at his door. And he's like, oh my God, what happened? And the agent's like, well, you said you weren't going to leave the house for a month. I want to make sure you didn't die. I had to get you food and water. Which on the one hand is like sweet that it was thinking about him, but like on the other hand, you're like, oh shoot, that could go bad. So while that story is a little scary in terms of what it can do unchecked, I think it's also may not be 100% true. Maybe it was an allegory, maybe it was a metaphor, maybe it was just sensationalized, maybe it was a marketing thing. I also think that's something that maybe would have happened very early in the beginning of the project, that has now, since there's been guardrails and refinements put in. But when I heard about that, I was like, I really like this, but I want to find a way where that's not a problem. How do I protect myself? How do I put some safeguards and I limit the blast radius, so to speak? The other thing that was the problem for me was that at that time, everyone was running out to buy a Mac Mini, and Mac Minis like doubled or tripled in price. It was hard to get them because everyone's like, "Oh, you got to get a Mac Mini," and you run OpenClaw on the Mac Mini, and then it's got this whole computer and it does everything. But I didn't want to pay for that, didn't want more hardware, didn't want to wait for it to even deliver because like they were sold out everywhere basically, and so I wanted to figure out a better way to do it. So I was able to figure out a way to install OpenClaw, limit the blast radius so that I'm more protected, not have to do external hardware, not give it full access to my system, and be able to start playing around with it. And so I started in March. I think specifically it was like March 16th. And I remember it was like a weekend, and I said, you know what? I'm going to stop saying I'm going to eventually do this, and let me get off my ass and actually go do something, right? I mean, how many times have we all sat around thinking like, man, I wish life was better. Eventually, I'm going to make it better. Oh, I wish life was better. I just got to do X, Y, and Z. And then you don't do X, Y, and Z. And I get it. It's hard. And like sometimes if you've been kicked around or you've had some failures or some losses, you start to doubt yourself. And you start to feel like, why even try? It's just not going to work. Maybe I'm cursed. And it can hold you back from maybe taking that next step and doing the thing that you logically know you should do, but emotionally you're not there. And I think I was feeling that a little bit. You know, we'd had some losses, some setbacks, some projects that didn't work out the way we were expecting. And I think I was probably spiraling a little bit into that self-doubt, you know, the lack of self-confidence, self-esteem, the thought that no, nothing I do is going to work. Why even try? And it was stopping me. And so I got sick of it. And I decided like, hey, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You got to do something. You want your life to be better, then get up off the couch and go start. Just start. Just start looking it up. Just start figuring something out. And so I played around. I think I started, it's weird, the things you remember, right? Like it was like 1 o'clock on a Saturday. And I sat down on my computer and said, okay, I'm going to start now. Let's see how long this takes. Let me see what I can figure out. And before the day was over, I had an agent, not on a Mac Mini, still able to do things. I was setting things up. I was devising its name, its personality, how I wanted it to help me, telling it about my business, helping it learn me, understand what I needed it for, figuring out ways we could interact and stuff. And it just continued to expand from there. And it's been incredible. I mean, night and day different. Oh my God. I wish I could go back and say do this earlier, but honestly, like I was probably only a month out from when it came out. So I really couldn't go earlier. I wish this was available earlier. I wish this was available 10 years ago. Oh my God. It's incredible. And so I want to share with you guys a little bit of how I use it, a little bit of what it does for me. And hopefully this might give you some hope or give you some inspiration or maybe give you a little light at the end of the tunnel. If you're also struggling and trying to figure out how to make things work, maybe this will help. So here's things that my agent does for me. So I created an email for my agent. I use Outlook. I made my agent have its own email. And then I also, so with the agent's email, I gave it a girl's name, so I'm going to say she. What she can do is she can read her own emails and she can draft and send her own emails. Then what I did is I gave her access to my email, but read only. Now, eventually I'd probably give her, write access so she could write emails for me, but initially it was just, hey, you can read my emails, so you can tell me things about it, and you can read and write for your own emails. And so I did that for several different businesses, actually. So boom, 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 multiple email accounts for her. The other thing then I have her do is, in the past I've used systems and different CRMs, but currently we're transitioning and we'd moved to some different ones, and I didn't really have one or wasn't really using it. And so I was like, all right, let me go get Go High Level, right? That's kind of the gold standard. It's easy, it's tons of automations, all this stuff. And, it's got like full API access. So I was like, great, I'm going to go start 3 Go High Level accounts, brand new accounts, one for each of the 3 different businesses. And so what I did is I connected my agent to Go High Level. So all I ever did in Go High Level was go in, grab an API key, gave it to my agent, said, here you go. You now have access to this. This is this business's Go High Level CRM account. I have not really been in Go High Level since then. My agent manages my entire CRM. And what I mean by manage is the first step I did is I said, scan all of my inboxes, find all the unique contacts, grab that person's contact information, find the relevant information about them, their business, my relationship with them, and then go put that contact into the appropriate Go High Level. If it's a contact for this business, make sure it goes into that business's Go High Level account, not a different one. My agent scanned through 55,000 plus emails, found all the unique contacts, totally populated all the 3 different unique Go High Level accounts, full information, fully integrated with all the stuff it needs, and it did that in about 10 minutes. Now think about that. That's a job that would take a human being hours, days, weeks. After you have to tell them what to look for, how to do it, then you have access, they have to go through all your emails. My agent was able to do all that in probably less than 10 minutes, full out. So now I know, great, I've got a full CRM, all the contacts, all the people I've talked to for the last decade, everything is there. I know it's ready to go. Now, from there, you can branch off. Okay, I need to make automations. How do I stay in contact with people? Hey, create these workflows. Hey, make sure that when somebody emails, we're tracking it. Hey, let's do outreach. Let's make sure that we're tagging people in different ways so that we can then create internal lists and we can then email and market to those lists and reach out to those people. So one of the businesses I have is a real estate company. And one of the things we do is we help people get funding for real estate projects. And so that means I'm going to institutional investors, hard money lenders, things like that. But then I'm also going to individual people, private money lenders. Well, I wanted to build that out. I had some names, I had some databases, I have some stuff in my emails, but it wasn't searchable. It wasn't full. It wasn't easy. So I was like, all right, let's make this easy. So I tell my agent, hey, look into this email, look into the subfolder that I have lenders, find those people. You've already pulled out the contact info, but now let's look specifically for their loan programs, where they're emailing me, telling me their rates, their terms, the LTVs, the property types they like, all the different stuff, new promos they have. When they're emailing me, tell me, here's the list of documents I need to get. Find all that information, update the CRM, create files for each lender so we understand what it is. Okay, how many do we have? All right, that's not enough. We need more. So then I said, all right, let's do this. Every day, I want you to search the internet. My agent can now go online, can look at stuff, look things up, do research for me, search the internet, find me different lenders. Find me lenders that do fix and flips. Find me lenders that do RV parks. Find me lenders that do mobile home parks. Find me lenders that do hospitality, multifamily, whatever it is, every different kind. Find me unique lenders. Lenders that do no appraisals. Lenders that do 100% financing. Lenders that don't care about your credit. Lenders that allow second position liens. Lenders that do second position liens. Find all that. When you find it, grab their contact info. Compare it to what we have in the database. From there, email out. But okay, let's take a step further. Show me the email you're going to write to them. Okay, show me the email. And then I can talk to them and say, hey, change this line, change this tone, make it like this. Show me a new version. It shows me the new version. Good, that's the version. Lock that in as the template. Now when you find those, go and email out those lenders and ask them, hey, we want to bring you deals, but I need your full loan criteria. Give me your full lend box. Tell me exactly how to work with you. Tell me exactly what you like. And the lenders are replying back. I'm seeing the emails come back. She's having full conversations now without me involved because I gave her the direction. Get their full lend box. When you get that lend box, put it in the database, put it in the CRM, build it out. And we've gone a step further because Go High Level is great as a CRM, but it's not necessarily a database per se in the best sense. So what do we do? Well, I said, okay, we need something better. Agent, go research. Tell me the tool. She went and researched all the different tools. Okay, these are the pros and cons. Here's the cost. Here's how they work with me. Here's where I can integrate. Here's where I can't. Here's how I can work with it. We found the right tool. Okay, we're going to use Supabase. That's going to be a good database. Awesome. Can you build me a database, a lender database? She goes, yeah, this is great. We'll have the contact information and Go High Level, but I'm going to have all their individual loan programs in Supabase fully able to be queried and queued and searched in a very easy, fast way so that I can be very specific. I need lenders that lend this type of property, this type of loan, this state, this minimum, this LTV, this loan amount, blah, 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 blah. And she can immediately search the database, go, boom, here's the 5 best lenders that would do that. She does this in minutes. She builds this without me doing it. I make the decisions. I think about it. I architect it. I tell her. We work back and forth. She does the research. And then I say, go. And she goes and builds it. And now, when I get a deal, someone goes and sends me a loan request. Hey, I've got this deal. I need this. You know what happened? I go, hey, go look at that email. Reply back to them. Ask them for all the documents that we need because we know what the lender wants, right? We've gotten those documents. We put it in there. Make sure we get all of it. When the customer emails you, when the client emails you back, get all those documents, download them, create a deal folder. These are rules too. I don't got to tell her every time. I go, this is the process. You create a deal folder, put all of it in there. Keep asking them for the documents that we need so that we know we can submit to the lender without until they've given you everything. Once they have, package it all, analyze it. Let me know if it looks like a good deal. So I give her the lending guidelines, or the lenders give her guidelines. I give her my recommendations. I tell her how I would underwrite a deal, what type of deals I want to work on or not. She's able to look at the deal. So someone sends something in, a request. She emails them back, hey, this looks good, but I need more info. They send her more info. She puts together a full deal package. She then comes to me and says, hey, Steve, this deal just came in from so-and-so. I went and got all of the information. I have a full deal package. Here's why the deal looks good. Here's why it doesn't. It looks good because of XYZ. It looks not good because of ABC. Okay, great. Search the lender database. Who would it fit for? Okay, it would fit best for these lenders. Okay, package up the deal file. Here's the information you can show. Here's the information you can't. Email the lender the full package and ask them if they would lend on it. She does that. The lender communicates back. Yeah, we would lend on that. No, we wouldn't. Whatever the case. When they come back, I go, great. Now help me coordinate this through. So she helps me package everything up, helps me with the communication, helps make sure the checklist of every item is set. I did a deal where I helped a client get 100% financing. I brought a fix and flip lender, and then I brought a private money lender separately that was going to come in as the gap. My agent helped coordinate all of that, help review the documents, help create documents, help analyze everything, help talk to title, email back and forth, coordinate everything, help make sure that all the documents got to the right parties, got signed. I even trained my agent on books from industry leaders like and YouTube videos and emails because I'm on their newsletter, but like content from Jeremy Miner, Alex Hormozy, Chris Voss, Stephen Covey, all these great thought leaders, and said, take this information in terms of sales, negotiating, marketing, business, and build frameworks for how to do things. So now when she writes email or when she writes marketing copy for me, it's not my best wisdom. It's not even her best wisdom. It's the best wisdom of the best experts in the industry. And it's an amalgamation of how they all interfit together to then create the best version of that communication, whether it's an email, whether it's a package for a lender, whether it's a piece of content that we're going to put out on social media. She's trained on the framework of experts so that she can be an expert, so that I can be an expert. And so she'll package it all. She'll go ahead and coordinate it, help make sure that the emails she's writing are courteous and professional, give the right information, are concise. I've literally had people come back and tell me, oh man, because I'll ask them, right? Because I was unsure at first. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is good or not. In fact, I remember the first time I had her send something out. I had a client and I was like, okay, send the client an email saying this. And after my agent sent it, I was like, oh, shoot. I probably should have reviewed the email first, right? What a silly oversight. I should have looked at what she was sending out. But I was like, well, hopefully it wasn't bad. So then I went to the client and I texted him. I was like, hey, my assistant. And of course, I'm playing it off, like not really saying it's AI yet. Just, I don't know how people are going to take that. So I'm going to play it chill. Hey, my assistant just sent you an email. She's a little new. Just want to check. Did it make sense? Did it look okay? The client comes back and goes, yeah, no, it was great. It was really nice. It was a real nice email. She seems good. So she thinks she's talking about my new human employee, but really what she's talking about is my AI agent. And without me even looking at the email, she confirms to me that my agent is sending a good email, that the context is right, the content is right, the tone is right. That was a powerful moment. I was like, okay, this is helpful. And as I built in various rules and training and refined her, she gets better and better. And so now I can have her send things off and communicate with different parties and help move things along. And so while I'm still analyzing and architecting and strategizing and vision casting and deciding how things are going to go, the execution layer that takes time is moving so much faster and without me having to do every small part of it. You know, I can have her, hey, come up with an email. I remember one time she came up with an email and I said, create the tone a little bit like this. I said, you know what, we need something from this. I think it was a title company. And I was like, frame it a little bit as you're new, frame it almost as if you're the one making the mistake. So they kind of feel like they have an out, but really we're trying to get them to agree to this or admit whether this or that is happening. And even with like those basic instructions, she was able to create an email better than I would have created that completely hit the vision I had in my head. and conveyed it in the tone and the way that I was hoping. She sent the email off, and the person responded exactly as I was hoping they would respond. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, you're right. This is the thing. Let me go ahead and do that for you. And move the deal along, avoided confrontation because she framed the email right, because I was able to tell her not exactly what was in my head, just the basics, and she was able to take that, extrapolate it, understand what I meant, and then create an email that accomplished the goal. That's powerful. So my agent helps me by creating this lender database that we can now search for. I then took it a step further. Again, real estate company, I deal with a lot of buyers. So I said, okay, I need to find out. I don't do a lot of wholesaling, but every now and then you get a deal like, I'm not going to buy that, but maybe I can just wholesale it, right? Maybe I can pass it along, make a quick little buck, right? Okay, I need a buyer's list. I mean, I can partner up with a wholesaler, but I know a lot of people. I know investors. Why don't I just find out what they want? Why don't I make a database of what they want? So then this way, they can tell me exactly what they want, and I can give them the deals that are exactly what they need. Eliminates their waste of time, eliminates my waste of time, helps both of us move forward, both of us make money. Okay. But that's not enough, right? That helps me. Okay. But that, I just said, it's not really my full-time focus. Not yet. I do have a plan for how to make it. But let's take it a step further. How do we help more people? How do we not just helping me? Okay. I'm in the sub 2 community, and Pace Morby always talks about you got to have your buy box. How are people supposed to bring you deals if they don't know the deals you want? How are they supposed to bring you deals when you don't have a buy box? It's got to be a buy box that's easy to tell people. It can't be this huge wall of text that you need to copy and paste and you're missing things and you're forgetting things. You got to have a good buy box. And I remember going to retreats in Owners Club and things, and some people would be really good. They're Canva wizards, and they'd be able to make this beautiful picture and everything. It's got all the info, and they have like a little flyer they can email out. They can post it on social media. Most people can't do that. That was a handful of people. And so I was like, you know what? Let's combine this. I need to know what people's buy boxes is, but also can we give people a tool to make it easy for them to make their buy box so that not only they can share with me, but they can share with a lot of people. So you know what we did? We said, okay, got my agent, and we went and researched the tools we needed to create a program, and we ended up making a website and a tool. It's called mybuybox.info, and in it is a very easy guided walkthrough where in 10 minutes or less, you put in your information step by step, and it will create you not only a pretty flyer that you can put into emails and email out that you could print out as a physical flyer, but then also it will give you a unique URL, a unique website that you can now just put in a bio and say, here, go to this website. This is my whole buy box. And then anytime you update that buy box, it automatically updates that website. So when people go back and look, they see exactly what it is. And then a step further is you go, well, you know what? Could I connect that page right to my CRM? So if somebody sees my buy box online, they can click submit and submit a deal directly into me. Okay, we built that feature in too. And so now I go and tell people, hey, go check out mybuybox.info. You can easily make your buy box, share your buy box, and get better deals more often, faster. I built that whole thing with AI. I'm not a coder. I'm not a website designer. My wife is. And honestly, when I say it really was her. She built a lot. I architected. My wife then worked with the agent to help build it all out. But with the agent, we were able to build out this whole product line in 2 weeks, maybe a week, and build it all out. That's a whole product we were able to build in maybe less than 2 weeks because we had an agent, because we had the right tool. That's the thing. People are afraid that AI is going to steal their job. AI is going to eliminate some jobs, probably not to the level that people are thinking. The people that are going to be left behind are the ones that don't use AI, because AI is a tool. And so when you learn how to use AI, you learn how to use the best tool. Imagine if you were a delivery driver and you were still trying to use a horse-drawn carriage. You're still a delivery driver. You're just not using the best tools. You're using a horse and buggy. You know what? You should get a semi-truck and drive on a highway. You're probably going to be able to carry more stuff faster, safer, and get it there. That's what AI is. It's a better tool than what you're using currently. So if you learn how to use AI, you can do better work. And what I would say is you don't want to just use ChatGPT or Claude. Those are great. And that's where most people start. Even though only 20% of people are using those, that's still where they start. But the next level is an AI agent. Get something like OpenClaw. Use ChatGPT or Claude as the brain and let your agent really go to work for you. Let it unlock productivity. Let it every day do research on new tools, new articles, new videos, new strategies. Let it build you a lender database. Let it build you a buyer database. Let it build you apps and websites. Let it handle all your emails, where it can look through and scan through all your emails every day. Hey, go check all of our emails. Tell me what's most important. I don't know about you, but I get a lot of junk email. And I got to sift through that noise. And yeah, it's a little bit of a ritual. It's a habit. I do it every time. But honestly, it's a time suck. It's not what I should be spending my time on. I should not be spending 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes over the whole day, an hour, 2 hours, just looking through my emails. I should tell my agent, scan it. She can do it in seconds. Tell me what's most important. Hey, this email came in. This looks important. This is what it says. This is what we should do. Here's a response I've drafted. What do you think? Okay, I know the problem. I see what the solution could be. Either the response is good or, hey, change this, this, and this, and then send the response. And in a minute now, that email didn't fall through the cracks. Not only did it not fall through the cracks, I've now identified exactly what needs to happen to move that process forward, whatever it is, that deal forward, that decision forward, and I've executed on it. The ball is out of my court. It's back in the other person's court. The process is moving forward because I have my AI agent to help me manage all that. So anyone who's feeling overwhelmed, I would strongly recommend getting an AI agent, getting OpenClaw, getting it set up, start using it, because it will change your life. It will change your business. I'll give you another example of what I used it for. I own an electrical company. We install generators. Every year, you got to have maintenance done on the generator, annual preventative maintenance. So, as with any service-based business, right, you worry that people fall through the cracks. People reschedule. Maybe they want to cancel, but they don't really want to cancel. You never reschedule them. Something happens. So I told my agent, plugged into our CRM, said, hey, look back through the last 3 years when we bought the company, find every customer that we did an event for, that we installed a generator for, or we've been out for preventive maintenance. Tell me how many we have. Tell me now how many are on the schedule for the next 12 months. Okay, the ones that are missing, let's make sure that we get them on the schedule. Do they have a signed agreement? Oh, they do. Okay, what happened? Oh, the last note you see says that they were meant to reschedule and they never got rescheduled and they fell off track. Great, let's get them rescheduled. Oh, they said that they didn't want it this year, but they want it next year. Okay, let's make sure we get them back on schedule. Then I went a step further. Okay, I know I'm not missing the ones falling through the cracks, but I've got technicians and we serve the entire Chicagoland area. Chicagoland's big. I mean, from the city to Rockford, up to almost the border of Wisconsin, down south. I mean, it's a long drive. It's a big area, right? How do we make that more efficient? Okay, so I asked my agent, hey, can you reroute all the technicians? Can we redo the schedules so that they're more efficient? Can we cluster them so that a technician is in one city for the day or only neighboring cities? Yes, we can. Cool. Let's do that. Okay, how many do I want? All right, let's do 4, 5, 6 calls per tech per day. Can we do that in the grouping? Can we then schedule them out Monday through Friday, every day of the week within a given month? Cool. Can we schedule them within certain time frames? Can we schedule them so that they're spaced out, every hour and a half or something? Hour and a half. Okay, cool. What else can we do to make it better? Well, we've got them all in the same town, but what if we are scheduling them and not paying attention and we're having the tech drive, back and forth across town? Well, that's not efficient. Okay. Hey, can we find a way to create the route that has the shortest drive distance to each customer? Yeah, we need this tool. We'll be able to GPS, find the exact coordinates of every single address, and then be able to calculate the distance between them and then be able to optimize the route. Cool. What do I need for that tool? It's basically free. I just need an API key. Okay. So the one thing that I do, I go and sign up, grab an API key, give that key, copy and paste, literally string of numbers, copy and paste right to the agent. Cool, are you in now? Yeah, I'm in. Can you get everything configured? Yeah, I can get everything configured. Cool. All right, optimize the routes now. Now the routes for the next 12 months, every single month, every single week, every single day, per agent, per technician, are optimized for the shortest drive time so we can fit more routes in within a given day, which means we're making more money every single day now because we optimize the routes. All that process took maybe an afternoon. I mean, ask yourself, if you're a service-based business and if you're doing hundreds of service calls per day per month across multiple technicians, how long would it take one human being to schedule out in the most efficient, optimized route possible your entire year, the next 12 months, as well as looking back to make sure that nobody in the last 3 years has fallen off the schedule? I'm guessing it's going to take more than an afternoon. It took my agent an afternoon. Next 12 months are scheduled. That's the power of an agent. That's why you need an agent. Now, the person that was just going to spend time doing research and data entry, my office manager, he can do more meaningful things. You know what he can do now? He can call the customer, the last customer we installed. He can get on a Zoom call with them. He can record that Zoom call and he can ask them, hey, tell me about the experience. How'd we do? And the customer can give us literally a video testimonial just by chatting. And my office manager can have that interaction, and then he can take that video, chop it up, post it to our social media, post it to our website. That social proof that he's gathering by having a human interaction with a person is way more valuable than him digging through the research of trying to look at each individual job that we've done over the last 3 years for every technician. I mean, thousands and thousands of jobs, and then trying to figure out the best way to optimize all the routes within a given month. He doesn't need to be doing that. The agent does that. Let him go do the human element. So his job's not being eliminated. His job is, we're just using him better. We're using him to do the thing that he's better at. We're using the agent to do the thing that they're better at. The data entry, the research, the moving around of information. Let an agent do that. They're faster. They're more precise. The human interaction, let a human do that. That's the unlock. There's so many things that you can do with an agent. There's so many ways to unlock your creativity, your productivity. I'll give you another example. So I mentioned I don't do a lot of wholesale, but sometimes I want wholesale. So I have a friend who created a wholesaling product platform called AcquireFlow. And basically, it helps automate. It can scrape the data, it can look for properties, it can filter in different ways, and then it can automatically send out both cash and creative offers. All right, well, I don't want to have to do all that research, though. What am I going to do? I don't run a whole wholesale operation. I don't want to hire a bunch of VAs, train them, manage them, stay on top of them, spend the money on them. Okay, here's what we do. Agent, API into AcquireFlow. Here's the search criteria. Every day run a search, find the properties that fit. Every day then, trigger the emails and the offers under these criteria. Reach out. When the agent or homeowner replies back, great. Start an email conversation with them. Use the frameworks from Chris Voss or Jeremy Miner or Alex Hormozi, Russell Brunson, Stephen Covey. I mean, not all these are the same domain, but you get the idea. Use the framework we've created from the greats to communicate via email with the customer. Find their pain points. Understand the deal. Understand what their goals are. Evaluate against what we can actually do and see if we would be a good fit to help them. If so, progress to the point of sending a contract. If the conversation gets to a point where you're not making progress or they want to talk to someone, refer them to me. And at that point, I'll talk to them. But if we can just have a conversation, progress to a point of getting a contract. Here's the contract. Here's the template. Here's what you fill in. Send the contract out. I use Dropbox Sign. It's $20 a month. It's great. You can API right in. Go ahead. Send it out. Send out the contract for signature. What does that do? That automates almost the entire front-end acquisition part about a wholesale operation with one AI agent and one tool, one or two tools. I don't have got to hire dozens of VAs. I don't got to train them. I don't got to pay them each thousands of dollars a month. No, I just use my agent. Okay, now I have contracts signed to be able to wholesale properties. Well, let's go back. I built a buyer database. When the contract comes back signed, or even before the contract goes out, this is how you get real good. When the contract comes back signed, search the buyer database, shoot an email off to the buyer in the database, say, we have this property on contract. Here's the criteria. make sure you're marking it up X amount, and see if they want to buy it. But let's be smarter. I look through the buyer database and I say, tell me who buys the most. Who have we had good interactions with? Who do we know is actually buying? Cool. What's their buy box? Great. Now make a search filter just for their buy box. Go and search for that across the whole country or the specific states or the specific city they want, wherever it is. Now interact with the seller. Now interact, get that property under contract. Now, once it's under contract, go directly to that buyer that you basically have been working for without them knowing and say, hey, I got a deal that I think fits exactly your buy box. Would you want to buy this deal? If they say yes, go ahead and send them a contract, get them to sign. My goal is to be able to have an entire wholesale operation run autonomously without me all the way through closings. I think I can get there with an AI agent. Again, some of this stuff is ideas. Some of it is at various stages of implementation. But the thing to realize is that whatever you're thinking of, an AI agent can probably help you do. And AI agents right now are the worst they're ever going to be. They're just going to get better. They're going to keep refining them and making them better. It's like if you bought a cell phone now versus buying a cell phone 20 years ago. The cell phone now is better than it was 20 years ago. Hell, it's better than it was 2 years ago. They keep making improvements. Technology continues to improve. But you got to get on board with it. You got to jump on quick because it's moving so fast. I mean, there's times where literally every single day a new update comes out. So you're scared of AI. You don't know how to use it. That's great. I get that. I understand that. Hopefully, this is giving you some ideas of how you could use it. And then the next step is to go ahead and start playing with it. And to do that, that's what we created AI Owner Assist for. This is a way for you to easily, with a guided interactive walkthrough, get an AI agent set up on your computer in less than 30 minutes so that you're talking to your agent, telling it your business, telling it your goals, figuring out how best it can help you. But again, I don't want you to just have a brand new baby agent. No. I've done a bunch of the hard work, the R&D, the research. I've spent the money developing the stuff. I want you to benefit from it. So that's why with our system, not only do you get the installation, but you get all the modules, the training, the safety rails, the guardrails of what it can and can't do to protect you, the implementation of how it's going to help you, how it's going to teach you how to work with it and how it can help you. You get that as well. Because I want you to be able to use the agent right out the gate to streamline your business, to make you more efficient, to make you more effective, to make you more money, and to give you the most important and valuable thing. The one resource that you can't manipulate or create more of, which is time. By having your agent handle things, you should get more time to spend with people, the people you love, doing the things that you like. Hell, even if that's nothing. If you say, I just want to be able to sit on the porch and watch the sunset and not have to worry, great. I want that for you too. That's why I want you to have an agent, because I think it can help get you there. Now, full disclosure, I will say, if you're an entrepreneur though, a very real pitfall or trap or drawback that might happen is you're going to get your agent, and in the first week you are going to be blown away by all the things it could do, and it's going to condense so much down for you. It's going to give you a ton of time back potentially, but you may not just keep it like that. You may see the possibilities and then fill back up your added bandwidth now. So let me warn you that the agent may be able to give you time, but you have to be disciplined enough to keep that time. You might just end up filling up with more projects. I can't tell you how easy it is to get something done with the agent, have it take a fraction of the time, and then realize, oh my God, I could do so much more. I could go implement on that other idea I had. I could go research this other idea. I can talk through this other idea. When I have an idea now, I ask my agent, hey, here's my idea. Poke holes in it. Stress test it. Push back at me. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me what am I not seeing? What am I missing? How long will it take to implement this? How long till the first time we make $1? How much money will it take to get it started? How much money will it take to keep it going? How profitable could it be? Go do research. Go look on Twitter, Reddit. Go find out what people are saying. Is there a need? Is there a pain point? Are we actually solving a problem? Figure it out. And my agent will go and do all the research and in minutes come back with a full McKinsey level style, 20, 30, 40 page report breaking down exactly if that's a good business plan or not, if that's a good idea or not, if there's a need or not, if there's pain point verified by what people are saying, and then how we would do it. I've created a tool database and a solutions database. So tools that we've researched that we either use or we say, there's nothing for us to use right now, but let's keep it on hand. So when we have a new idea, search the tool database, see what tool would allow us to execute that portion. And then a solutions database. How do we do things? Like for me, I said, okay, we need eSign. I like Dropbox Sign. Used to be HelloSign. I've used it for over a decade. It's cheap, it's easy, it's effective. That's a solution for eSign. Okay. Databases. Well, right now I like Supabase. We need databases. I'd use Supabase. How do we do this? How do we do that? Okay, here's the solutions of how to do that, or the corresponding tool that uses that. Here's how we set things up. So now you have an idea and you can figure it out and create a whole business plan and know this is something we should spend time in, or no, wait, the need's not there, or this iteration isn't right. And then you can work on it, iterate on it, change it. But that's the power of having an agent. So I hope this gives you some clarity, some alignment, some understanding what it's like to use an agent, what to do with it, things it can actually do to improve your business. There's so many that I'm sure I'm not hitting. You know your business best. But if you've ever gone to ChatGPT or Claude and asked it a question and been impressed with the answer it gave you, but wished it could do more, ChatGPT and Claude, they're the brain. They're in a sense a glorified Google. They're going to find some answers. They're going to help you think it through a little bit, but they can't do it. It's getting better, but they don't really do it. When you get an AI agent, when you get OpenClaw, that's the hands. That's where it can actually do stuff. Go search the internet, go pull data, go create this report, create this document, change these files, set up this configuration, build this website, build this app, automate this process, make sure you respond like this, email this person, draft this document. It actually does the things. It manifests your thoughts into reality so that your business, your life can be better. I hope you enjoy. Take care.